Hey everyone, welcome to the show. OMG. This is exciting. I have a feeling this is going to change everything. We got to do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Woo, get down tonight. Okay, enough dancing. This is exciting news that just broke today. Sidney Powell finally released the Kraken, but she released it on her co-defendants in the Georgia RICO case. I have been saying for months, she's in danger. And she seems to have finally heard me. Powell officially accepted a plea deal this morning. She has agreed to testify against the other defendants in the Georgia case and to relinquish all documents and communication related to the case. This is a huge get on the part of the district attorney, Fani Willis, because Powell was involved in so many aspects of Donald Trump's coup. The breach of the voting equipment, his interest in seizing voting machines, illegally, by the way. She took part in meetings where they all discussed January 6th. They talked about the fake elector scheme. Well, now Powell has pleaded guilty to 6 misdemeanor charges of conspiracy to interfere with the election. Yes, misdemeanors. In addition to her testimony, Powell will be sentenced to 6 years of probation. If she violates the probation, she goes to jail. She goes to prison for the rest of that. And she agreed to pay a $6,000 fine and $2,700 in restitution to the state of Georgia. Powell must also write a letter of apology, which apparently she already did. She turned it in this morning. It's to the Georgia residents. She's also prohibited from speaking with any of the co-defendants, witnesses, or the media until all of these Georgia RICO cases are closed. And Law and Crime news outlet reported that Powell already sat for a recorded proffer session last night. So she must have given up some really damning information. Otherwise, they would have never gone along with such a sweetheart deal like this. Given the seriousness of the charges against her and the strength of the evidence in this case, there's no way that they would let her walk with a slap on the wrist unless she gave up some serious goods. And Powell admitted in the plea deal to basically all of the things that she's been denying for years now, and what her attorney has been denying. She admitted to hiring the data forensics firm that's called Sullivan Strickler. That's one of the companies that was given illegal access to copy the data on the voting equipment in Georgia, in Coffee County, Georgia. And as part of Powell's plea, she finally conceded that she wasn't granted authority to do these things. That's what she was previously claiming. It was, no, I wasn't involved. I didn't do it. But if I was, we were given authority to do so. I have so many thoughts on this. So first, this is probably the smartest thing that Sidney Powell has done in years. Many of Trump's allies were gunning for her, and she was going to be thrown under the Trump train, 100%. If I was Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, anyone else who was ever in the room with this woman discussing the election, even people who haven't been charged, people like Mike Flynn, I would be sprinting to the DA's office to cut a deal immediately. This doesn't mean that she's completely out of the woods and off the hook, though, I should say. So for anybody who's saying, oh, I really want to see her behind bars, I do too. But as I've mentioned before, the special counsel has been asking a lot of questions about her. So they could still bring federal charges against Powell and, and the other co-conspirators. And now they know she's willing to flip. So that's got to make them very nervous, like all of Trump's co-conspirators. But her plea deal throws this whole Georgia case into chaos and a tailspin because her trial with Kenneth Chesebro was scheduled to begin on Monday. Jury selection starts tomorrow. She and Chesebro, they lost a last-ditch attempt to get these charges tossed just this week on Tuesday. So I think she saw the writing on the wall and realized this judge is not very favorable. He's not very kind to us. This isn't going to go well. So now we're going to have to see, what does Chesebro do? Does he make a move? I mean, if he flips, It seems like that would be the final nail in the coffin for John Eastman, Donald Trump, a lot of others, because he was in direct communication with them about the fake electors plot and also January 6th. And remember, he was with Alex Jones on January 6th. They were together at the Capitol. And the evidence against Cheesebro is really solid. News broke yesterday that Cheesebro admitted in writing that Trump's legal challenges were bound to fail, but the results would be politically beneficial. And I'll explain in a second why that is so key. The New York Times obtained emails that were written by Cheesebro, and he said in these emails that an election lawsuit in Wisconsin would help to feed the narrative, quote, that the courts lack the courage to fairly and timely consider these complaints, and justifying a political argument on January 6th that none of the electoral votes from the states with regard to which the judicial process has failed should be counted. Cheesebro then went on to say that the legal challenge had only a 1% chance of succeeding, but it had, quote, possible political value. Then later in the email, Cheesebro again mentioned that the legal filings offered a, quote, political payoff, because in his estimation, it would bolster Trump's argument that, quote, there should at least be extended debate in Congress about election irregularities in each state. And then he wrote, quote, the public should come away from this believing that the election in Wisconsin was likely rigged and stolen by Biden and Harris, who were not legitimately elected. So these emails are so damaging to his case because Cheesebro is planning to tell the jury he was just simply offering legal advice. He is saying and has been arguing with the judge that, oh, I had nothing to do with the political calculations. This was not political at all. He's also been making the case that he honestly believed that what he was telling Trump, the advice that he was giving him, could help him to legally overturn the election. So for him to say in writing that he knew the legal challenges were doomed, but, you know, they should still file the lawsuits anyway for political benefit, that is pretty much game over for him. I mean, unless he gets one lone holdout, one lone Trump cult member on the jury, he is done. He is toast. So the next 24 hours are going to be very interesting. Does he go for it? Does he just plow ahead on his own with this trial, now with the prosecutor able to say, hey, here's Sidney Powell. She just admitted to her crimes, and she wants to tell you about her interactions with Mr. Cheesebro or what his other co-defendants were saying. In related news, not quite as exciting, but not really a good thing, but in related news, two of the grand juror members who issued the indictments in this case agreed to be interviewed by Powell and Cheesebro's defense attorneys. You know, Powell's attorney probably isn't going to be involved at this point, but as you might recall, the defense attorneys made this unusual request. They wanted to question the grand jurors, and the judge said he would make the offer to the jurors, but he wouldn't require them to participate. Well, two of the jurors took them up on it, and they are scheduled to be questioned tomorrow afternoon. And Judge McAfee will preside over that process. It will be recorded, so it will be recorded for the court, but it's not going to be live streamed. It's not going to be made public as their court proceedings usually are. So that's where things stand. Again, whoop, whoop. You could do the wobble, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble. I think this is a wobble moment. I really do. I just have a feeling this is going to change a lot. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited. I will talk with you soon. Hopefully the next news I have is that more dominoes fall and that Trump is going to prison very soon for the rest of his miserable orange life. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with everyone you know, become a subscriber if you have not, become a donor if you possibly can, or leave a tip or a super thanks. So appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.